Is it worth catching up to? No.
That My Hero Academia has fallen off.
So My Hero Academia, has it already fallen off?
When did people start hating on My Hero? My Hero Academia, Koei Horikoshi's magnum opus, has gone from being the new kid on the block to an anime staple all the way to the fallen off status. And although the hype around the series has definitely died down since the golden days of season 2 and 3, the show is still immensely popular, and in the eyes of anime producers who only see money, doing just fine. But there was a small and loud section of the anime community who spends their time criticizing the show more than praising it.
My Hero didn't fall off. You guys just watched your second anime.
Mid-Hero Academia.
The show got boring.
These are complaints you hear constantly in the community, and I would try to be fair and see where people are coming from, but fuck that. I don't see it. This is long overdue, but I think it's about time someone stands up against the BS surrounding this show and gives MHA the props it deserves. And with the manga ending earlier this month and the anime not that far off, what better time for me to emerge? This is an anime-only space. Please, no spoilers. Hi, I'm Chef Boy RJ, and today I'm going to be cooking up a little something I like to call in defense of My Hero Academia. And once again, don't need this hat. I don't know why I keep putting hats on. Now, don't get it twisted, My Hero is by no means perfect in my eyes, and we'll get to why later. But it's funny to me how this series gets the most hate, at least from what I've seen. If you have a different experience, let me know in the comments. Compared to its contemporaries, like the other battle shonen it's always put in competition with, like JJK, Chainsaw Man, Boruto, Demon Slayer, and Black Clover, from a writing standpoint, My Hero is the best out of the bunch. Yes, I said it. Sue me. Although, Chainsaw Man is a very close second, I'm not gonna hold you. But let's get cooking. Today, I have laid out 3 MHA hot takes for me to fry up and turn into something edible. I'm gonna explain why I don't agree with them. Let's start with the big one. My Hero fell off after season 2 or 3, or after the Stain arc, or after All Might vs. All for One, etc, etc. I'm just gonna say it. I think some people criticize My Hero because they expected it to be a show it never was. And when it shows its true colors, they label it as boring, even though the themes and executions are the same as the parts they like. Similar to what fans do with One Piece. They'll hype up action-filled arcs like Enies Lobby, but then tear down adventure-filled ones like Skypiea and Long Ring, even though One Piece at its core has always been adventure over action. Shout out to Tony for a similar take. MHA Season 4 through Season 5 can be categorized as setup for the events that take place during Season 6 and the currently airing Season 7. And setup is not a bad thing if it's interesting while getting you hyped for what comes next. And yes, MHA does this, you haters. After the events of Kamino at the end of Season 3, we enter what the world of My Hero would look like without All Might at the top. Our characters end up dealing with the fucking Yakuza, a new number 1 that doesn't morally deserve the spot, a rising villain-making ideology, and on top of all of that, they're still in hero school trying their best to get experience. And here is where a lot of people take issue with the series that I simply don't understand. I'll give you guys the drop in production quality. I'll even give you guys the change in events from the manga. But boring. Most of the time when asked which parts are boring, it's Class 1A versus Class 1B and the Gentle Criminal arc that get the most hate. In other words, the school events. Almost as if people think they would be better cut out. And, y'all are complaining about the school events in a show called My Hero Academia. What did you expect to be in the show? And before you say it, I can hear the comments already. No, these school events don't slow down the main story, they set it up, introducing you to a wide range of characters that will play major roles in arcs to come, and also revealing the growth and plot twist of characters we already know. Without Class 1A versus Class 1B, characters like Monoma and Shinso wouldn't have gotten the necessary development needed to make later moments in Season 7 so impactful. Same with our main cast as well. Ochako, Ida, Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku all constantly look back at these arcs as moments of growth because it is the school arcs that have prepared our characters for when shit hits the fan. That shows the audience, yeah, these children have been through so much, but they are indeed ready to face the evils of this world. Without arcs like these, the story would be a rushed mess where audiences feel like their characters did not earn the growth displayed in later parts. Same with Gentle Criminal. Yes, I'm about to defend Gentle Criminal. Probably the most infamous part of the story. A lot of people hate this arc, and I love it. The Gentle Criminal arc to me is a look at the wider world of My Hero and something I think the show could use more of if I'm being honest. Shout out to Meanie Mosey for having a similar take. Let me cook. Gentle Criminal is like his name implies, a gentle criminal. He commits petty crimes and is more of an inconvenience than an actual villain. And to me, this is a good thing because it shows a more realistic aspect of the series. A lot of people think that if a superpower society were to manifest, those with decent quirks would either be heroes or villains. Not true. Not everyone wants to be a hero, and just because you don't want to be a hero doesn't make you a villain either. What about the average person? Someone who uses their super speed to get to work on time. Someone who stops time so they can have a few more hours of sleep. Someone who failed to become a hero and now just wants attention. This mini arc gives the show a more realistic element because not all dreams come true, and not everyone with a quirk is either selfless or evil, while telling a touching story about a boy who was accomplishing his dreams versus a man who failed. A heartbreaking message that sometimes, in order to save the day, you have to step on the dreams and validations of others. And plus, the arc is like 4 episodes. People are literally complaining about 4 episodes. But like I said before, My Hero is not perfect, and my personal issue with the show is that as many characters as I listed before that do get development from the school events, there are way more that barely see any screen time. My Hero's cast is way too big for the story it's trying to tell, and I do think Horikoshi failed to make all of Class 1A and the extended classes at least feel relevant. Since UA is a made-up school, specifically for hero training, downsizing the class size to the characters he did focus on probably would have worked more in his favor. Who is Tape Guy? Who is Tape Guy? For this class size to work, I think Horikoshi should have taken a page out of his Statutes and Classrooms book that does an amazing job at bonding us to the main class. Because the entire story, not just arcs, is told through the main class's struggles. Not just the main characters, the entire class. Although I don't agree, haters tend to find whatever's going on with Deku and the One for All story way more interesting than what's going on with everyone back in UA. And I think combining the two storylines like they did in Season 1 would have helped mend this divide in the fandom and given more characters screen time, thus making the audience care for them more. But enough of playing devil's advocate. I'm here to silence the haters, not fuel them. And ironically, one of the biggest misunderstood aspects of the story is its main character, Izuku Midoriya, aka Deku. Deku gets so much criticism, more than any other character in the show.
Nah, Deku is boring. Deku cries way too much.
Dark Deku is the most interesting thing to happen to this character.
I hear these things over and over again, and I think this thought process comes from a fundamental misunderstanding of Deku's character. In my eyes, Deku is nowhere near a boring MC. In fact, he's a perfect one for this series, and you need to look past the blinding typical nice boy anime tropes to see that he is insane. Positive, but insane. Something I like to call positive insanity. He is quite literally Shigaraki if Shigaraki was helping people instead of hurting them, but both of them are still crazy. For the entire first part of the story, Deku is constantly breaking bones. See what I did there? Don't look at me like that. You laugh. Running first into danger, getting involved in everyone's business, and mutilating himself time and time again. Punching so hard that your entire arm turns purple is not a thing a sane person does. Especially a 15-year-old boy. To the point where his mom, All Might, Aizawa, and even Frappy at one point all have to point out his self-harm tendencies. And the class quite literally has to jump him for him to accept some help. Like, I need you guys to understand how mentally ill some of Deku's actions are. My Fate fans understand because we have a similar thing with Shiro Emiya. Doesn't sound boring to me because Deku is the living embodiment of the insecure ideology. If Superman is saving everyone, who is saving Superman? Deku thinks everyone is worth saving but himself. A selfless trait that him and All Might share and Stain admires, but a flaw that gets them both into countless issues time and time again. And yes, he cries a lot because a big part of Deku's story is self-love, learning how to love yourself and letting others show you the same grace. A character crying a lot has never been the problem. It's someone who cries and does nothing about their tears that tends to annoy fans. And Deku does do something about his tears a little too much at times. He stands up to his old bully, fights several villains, and puts a smile on faces, and still the show goes out of its way to show us that the journey of a selfless hero is a journey of one without self-love. There is a balance between helping others and helping yourself, and if you're going to try to save everyone, you need to realize that you yourself are a part of that everyone. This flaw leads to some badass moments even if Deku is crying, like in episode 1 where it's the quirkless boy who goes to save his own bully even though the heroes are standing right there, or where he resolves himself to save Lady Naga and not kill her, or his first fight with Muscle Dude. Hell, even the whole Dark Deku arc if we're being serious. And if you find all of that boring, then what? We're just gonna have to agree to disagree. Devil's Advocate RJ here, back again to say that while I do believe that the character of Deku gets a bunch of unnecessary hate, there is one group of characters that gets the criticism it deserves and is one of the biggest reasons my hero is not perfect. And that's the female cast. I won't be long with this one because that's a whole other video, but I do recommend watching Lady Inaya or the homegirl Inakyu's video on the topic to get a good sense of why this is a major writing issue. Links in the description. But I'll leave you with this one example. The UA Big 3. Mirio got a whole arc during the fight with Overhaul, and so did Sun Eater. But Nejire barely gets any screen time, and we don't even find out her backstory until 3 seasons later in Season 7, and it's only about 6 minutes of the episode. Way too late to make us care, and kind of weird that this happened with the only female member of UA's Big 3. This is a constant pattern with My Hero's female cast, and if any of the side characters are ignored, it's them. Besides Tape Guy. Seriously. Who is Tape Guy? The last My Hero take is actually a cold one, hence why we're in the freezer. And that's the production quality. It's not that the production quality of the anime is bad, it's just that it's not as good as it can be, because Studio Bones rather have their A-team work on a non-canon movie than the actual show. Shout out to Toto and Jake who mentioned this. What could have been a much more dynamic expression of the manga, like they did with Season 1 through 4, has turned into a, this will do. Y'all are gonna watch it anyway. Production with some Sakuga sprinkled in. So yeah, I'll give you guys that one. But if you know me or have seen my animation is not that important video, you know that I put writing over animation quality any day. And to be honest, we could have gotten a Promised Neverland Season 2, so yeah. What we're getting now is not the best from the studio, which My Hero does deserve, but it's not the worst either. What I want you to take from this video is that My Hero Academia is not perfect, but still a good show at the end of the day. I think it gets a lot of hate because when it first came out, the anime community hyped it up as the second coming of Jesus, and of course, it didn't live up to that kind of hype. Most shows don't. But this doesn't mean it fell off, because it never did. This is my answer to the question I posted on Twitter and YouTube. My Hero is still one of the most popular anime airing right now. Go to Crunchyroll and see the likes My Hero gets versus your average seasonal hyped up anime. It's like night and day. When a major moment happened in the manga, you heard about it. When the manga ended, you heard about it. When an episode of the anime pops off, you hear about it. Several people try to deny the pop culture icon that My Hero is just because it's not the talk of the town anymore. When, like it or not, this one show sparked a whole new generation of anime fans. I've said this time and time again. Hype does not equal quality. Just look at the current season. Shows like Yasukarasu, Dead Dead Demons, and Maki-ine are way better than My Hero, but I'm sure a lot of you don't even know what they are. Vibe check. Maki-ine is absolutely amazing, and if you want a video on it, comment on a best girl. All in all, My Hero has been pretty consistent for me, doing what it does best and tugging at my heartstrings even 7 seasons in. That Bakugo episode nearly broke me. And that's because of the entire journey leading up to this point. And I know the ending has gotten mixed reviews, but I don't trust manga readers after they said Attack on Titan's ending was bad, so we'll see. Does this show have flaws? Of course. Did it fall off? Not even close. Other people's or a community's perception of a story definitely influences fans. We've all fallen victim to it, me included. But if you can, I'm asking you to ignore all of that from the debates to the hot takes and watch Horikoshi's work for yourself. To be honest, and I mean this 100%, I believe that on a rewatch for old fans and on a binge for future generations, the anime community will come to realize that My Hero Academia is nowhere near as bad as the haters and memes say, and is actually one of the best battle shonen of its generation. Alright, let it rip. Comment your thoughts below. I think I'm in for some spicy ones with this video. But if you like that video, then make sure you like, subscribe, and go watch more of our stuff. And also follow us on socials, because we stream. Thank you so much to our patrons, and thank you for watching. As always, my friends, I'm RJ Lane, and this has been On the Rise.